you can only, like I was saying at the start of the stream, I mean, you can only just feel comfortable in certain things. I'm so confident in quantum, it doesn't stress me out because I know it's all a joke. And the joke will end at some point. It's the stuff where you are sitting there saying, well, what if the cassava drug works? Right? What if I'm wrong? What if Immune's drugs works or ATYR's drug works? That's when you're sweating bullets saying, I don't want to be in the short. What's going to happen if it comes out and it works, right? When you have confidence, you can say, look, whatever happens is going to happen, and I understand the continuum of possibilities. I'm comfortable with all of them. Like when we bought Sarepta, we said the FDA might pull the drug. They might get more deaths. This might happen, that might happen, and you're just comfortable with every piece of it. And you make your investment. And I'm happy that it turns out that they're not pulling the drug. There haven't been more deaths, but there easily could have been. And you'd have to live with the consequences. The consequences of your position sizing and your decision making. Try not to put yourself in a position where you have to be right. And then try not to put yourself in a position, especially, where you have to be right by a certain day. That is insane, right? I used to do that. I used to trade when I was 19 and stuff like that. I used to trade huge amounts of options. And I'd get on a lucky streak and I'd have $500,000 or some crazy amount. For me, it was certainly crazy at 19. And then I'd blow it all because I had to be right by a certain date on a certain stock. And it's just, who can do that? Nobody can do that. Wall Street people don't do that. They use options relatively sparingly unless they're professional vol traders. And then they're taking very little risk. Options are meant to reduce risk, not to amplify it. And, if you want to play the game on hard mode, that's playing the game on hard mode. You're not going to get rich doing that. Nobody's made a fortune from zero to hero with options and kept it. The same crazy ass risk you took to make the money will be the same crazy ass risk that's going to take you out of the money. When you trade options, you have to ask yourself, why am I doing this instead of common stock? And if the answer is because the volatility is mispriced, well, I don't know. I don't trade volatility. It's not something I know a lot about or have a ton of experience about. Decide what you're good at. If you're good at picking stocks, then go pick some stocks. If you're good at trading vol, well, I hope you're a mathematician or something, because it's pretty complicated. And it's most people on the street don't do it the way you think they do it. At the end of the day, you just have to look at yourself in the mirror and say, am I a pathetic gambler? And if the answer is yes, stop doing whatever the fuck you're doing, because it's pathetic gambling, and you have to go get a real job, create some economic value. Like trading a piece of paper around is not creating economic value for yourself or others. If you're extremely talented at investing, okay, well, that's different. But if you're extremely talented at investing, you don't need call options and put options throwing your whole account into risk every day. If you're good at investing, you didn't need any of that. Options can be safer in some cases, depending on how much you size and what you do exactly. But if you're telling me buying 100% of your account in puts versus 1% of your account shorting the stock, the shorting the stock is a lot safer. Because the 100% in puts can expire the day before the stock drops 90%. You would have been a hero, but you got the wrong strike, the wrong expiry. So just sort of try to stay away from. You want high returns, but you don't want them to be too high. Because chances are, if the return is way too high for the trade, it's too good to be true, and you're probably just fooling yourself. Um, you want steady Eddie. You can't roll if you put all your capital in one in one trade, which again, a lot of you guys do that. A lot of you guys just want the one big win. The one big fat win. But you're just going to do it again. You're going to want to do it again, and you're going to blow it all. No, Dion, I mean, I'm not sure. Of course you want high risk-adjusted returns, but if you think you're going to make 10x in your portfolio, you're fooling yourself. Or if you think you're going to do that consistently. Yeah, I may do it one time, but there's a reason why doing that consistently is impossible, because you'd be the richest person in the world. Yeah, be scared, be cautious, avoid risk. I think those are all wise things. I don't know about waiting for a report or something, but I can't believe IonQ and its brethren are up. But the only bearish news is the QUBT offering, right? Oh, also, well, a lot of people think there's like a Trump thing coming on quantum. And it appears that there is not a Trump thing coming on quantum. So that's kind of what's going on there. That there's some Trump quantum announcement coming, but I don't think there is. So that's why the stocks doubled or went up so crazy. Is there was some chance that was going to happen? And they'll sell off if that's not going to actually happen, which I don't think it is. I mean, yeah, nobody's asking me for my opinion, but you know what it would be if they did. So I think if a couple days go by without the Trump quantum announcement, then these stocks will go right back to where they were, because that's what people bought them for.